Hello and welcome to Season 2, Episode 6 of The Head Coach. My name's Daniel and coming up today, we're playing our final game of the Vanarama National League season away at Ebbsfleet. As you can see, we've already just about secured our playoff place. We're 4 points clear with a game to go, so Tranmere can't catch us anymore. I was planning to show you the moment we qualify for the playoffs, but unfortunately Tranmere lost an unexpected game off camera, or I think they drew it actually, but that meant that we'd qualified without playing a game. So we've got a bit of a free pass for this one, but we'll just see if we can take some good form into the playoffs, unlike last season with Bognor. But first, since you were last with me, let's have a look at how we got to this position. You can see we're in 7th place. We're on 76 points, and that's because of a very mixed run of form since you were last here. We were obviously last on camera against Boreham Wood away from home, where we lost 1-0 in March. We've had 8 games since then and we've lost half of them. We've not been in great form, but we have picked up 3 wins including the last game. So let's have a quick look through the games. We beat Maidenhead 3-1 straight after the Boreham Wood game. They were bottom of the league at the time and we did struggle a bit, to be honest. Ryan Bird got a couple of goals, still in the absence of Jake Hyde. We then lost a yo-yo game 4-3 at Wrexham. We were 3-0 down at that half time. We went to 3-all with 10 minutes to go with Ryan Bird getting a couple again, and then we lost it in the 94th minute, which was such a kick in the teeth for the lads and dented the dressing room atmosphere. But we did bounce back against playoff rivals Aldershot with a 2-0 win at home. Both of the strikers getting on the score sheet there. Jake Hyde still not back from injury, as you can see. We then went on the 4-game winless run, so we lost 1-0 at Forest Green with an injury to Manny Parry. We drew 0-0 at Mansfield, a very dull game. Very glad you didn't see that one on camera. There was about 3 shots in the whole game, I think. We then lost at home to Halifax 2-0, probably the worst performance of the lot. We didn't look like scoring. Halifax had at least 15-20 shots. It was a terrible game. We then lost away at Guiseley, similar to before really. We were 2-all up until the last minute and then let in another injury time goal, which is potentially setting a bit of a bad precedent going into the playoffs. We then thankfully got back on track in the last game and go into this one with a win under our belts. Was pretty comfortable, to be honest, at home to Barrow, though at 2-1 for some time you always worry if 1 goal ahead's going to be enough. But the super sub chair got his goal and we go into this one with 3 points on the board and our playoff place guaranteed. So let's get into it against Ebbsfleet. Let's see if we can finish the league campaign on a high before going into the playoffs, hoping to do a bit better than last year. Again, the National League does the quarter-final process, which is how we've been able to qualify. You could argue we're fortunate because a couple of years ago we wouldn't have been able to get in the playoffs in 7th. But nevertheless, our team lining up for today: Mitch Walker in goal, a back 4 of Pike, Parry, Casey and Hammerlinen, Tracy, Brundle, Ashby and Pinnock across the 4-man midfield, and Bird and the returning Hyde up front. Means Ayunga's down to the subs bench with Wanadio, Bellamy, Super Sub Chair and Galifuco. So let's get straight into this one. One other point of interest, a fact from the league season: we've got the 2nd best defensive record in the league. I do quite often get a bit of criticism for picking out defenders despite the fact we're scoring goals for fun, but having the 2nd best defensive record hopefully keeps a few of those people quiet. We've got 2 teams playing the 4-4-2. We're back to our old classic pick up where you left off because we're coming into this one with a win behind us. So let's kick off. We're away at Ebbsfleet. They've got a pretty packed ground actually. I don't know what they're celebrating. I didn't think they had any chance to win the title. I didn't look at the table that closely, but we'll worry about our own performance. We've got the early running with the ball, but Brundle gives it away really easily. And now Ebbsfleet have got the throw in. Butterworth puts it into Kirby. It's a good challenge, but it's fallen to them again on the edge. And what a finish that is. I mean, we don't often celebrate conceding goals. I wouldn't say celebrate, but we appreciate the quality of that. Lalkovic, I'm pretty sure he's a former Chelsea youth prospect, and he's just scored a brilliant goal against us. And now they're coming forward again with Hepburn Murphy, who, if you remember from the return game in January, I think it was episode 4 of this season, he gave us an absolute run around and was unlucky not to score in that draw. I think it was 0-0 on the day, but he had so many chances and caused us havoc. Here they come forward again. We haven't looked like having a kick yet. The ball comes into the box. We've headed away, but it's gone to that man again, and he had another go, and I think that was heading for the target as well. But it's just bounced straight back to Ebbsfleet. It's not even 2 banks of 4 now because they're drawing us out of position, so we can't even say our classic cliche there either. But they're getting in behind us for fun, and Pike has to hoof it out for a throw-in. This is a rather disturbing start. The last thing we want is a 2 or 3 goal defeat going into the playoffs, and we'd really hate to have anything worse. They've had another go there, but their shot's gone out for a throw-in. That's one of those classics. You love to see that. And hopefully we can start to build something into the game now. Pike's got the ball to Bird. Hyde's bringing it forward now. He hasn't been great since he's come back from injury, and there's a perfect example of it as he kicks it straight to him. And Butterworth brings it forward again, but Bird intercepts and gives it straight away again. We can't keep the ball for anything here. Oh, here we go. It's just bouncing around all over the place. I don't think we've had 3 passes in a row yet, as proven by the fact we've only had 38% possession. Hammerline and Hoof's clear again. Bird can put it through. Can Hyde get in this time? He is in one-on-one, and his shot saved and tipped behind by the keeper. That's a bit more like what we wanted to see. Can we make anything happen from the corner? Tracy's going to deliver. Hyde's just missed out in the air, and now we're going to get countered again by Ebbsfleet. They're looking so dangerous against us here, but thankfully they've given it away just inside their own half. And Bird tries to bring it forward again, and it luckily deflects to Hyde. And again he missed his man by 5 yards, but we still keep possession. Ashby now, can we show a bit of quality? Absolutely not. It's an awful pass, and Lalkovic warning to close him down from the assistant manager. Again, a bit too late after he scored a great goal. They've got another cross into the box that's fallen out to Lalkovic, and they're just playing around us so easily. And here he is again. He seems to like a shot cutting in from the left-hand side, but this time he's completely wayward with it. And considering it's only 15 minutes in, there have been a lot of highlights with Ebbsfleet efforts, and I'm a bit worried that we could lose a bit of confidence in this one because it looks like it could be 3 or 4. They've got another corner. It's a free header and they've put it over, thankfully. But this is awful. I really don't know what to say. We were so confident and composed against Barrow, and it's all just disappeared here. We've really struggled away from home recently. I think the draw away against Mansfield, was the only one we've got recently, and I'm interrupted again because Hepburn Murphy, the danger man from the last game, he's come through and scored one-on-one, completely unmarked, no one followed him, and he just slotted it under the keeper. Oh, this hasn't gone well, has it? We're going to go into the playoffs. It's going to be deja vu from last year. Oh, it's going to go wrong. At least we haven't got an FA Trophy final to lose this year. We can just lose the quarter-final of the playoffs and then get on with next season and trying to find an escape route. We're half an hour in and we've not looked like scoring at all, to be honest. Oh, it's all over the place. They've just gone 3-0 up. I don't know what to say. Butterworth scores it this time, unmarked from I think 3 yards this time. I don't know where our defence has gone. The second best defence in the season. I've been talking about it before the game, saying how impressive it is, how we can keep a few people quiet, and again they've had a shot unmarked from 8 yards. Thankfully that one was offside. But it's so bad. I don't know how to tell you how bad this is. The contrast from the Barrow game, the contrast from the record of being the second best defence in the league. They've got another ball into the box which is cleared away. But there seems to be a 3-on-2 every time. Walker's made the save, but it's a matter of time before they get more. And now we've got an injury to our best player, if that wasn't bad enough so far. We're going to bring on Bellamy. I would risk Chair, but we can't afford to lose the one player who's going to be a ball winner in the midfield. And we're going to change him to a ball winner because, my God, we need to get some possession in there. So let's confirm that. We would give them a scream, but it's only 5 minutes till half time and then we can get mad at them. The only saving grace is that Ebbsfleet have got a few players looking complacent, and if we can take advantage of that in the second half, we might be able to close the gap slightly. But that's really pushing the optimism boundary out because we haven't looked like scoring in a month of Sundays. There we go, it's about half time. It's been absolutely terrible. I'm going to dig into them badly at this half time because I keep saving my worst performances for on camera by the looks of it. There we go then, very disappointing. The assistant manager agrees at least, and the fact we've barely got a reaction out of that says where things are going wrong. To my knowledge, we haven't had a dressing room revolt or anything this time. I've no doubt it will come in the next week like it did last year. But we've really got to look at getting out of this club at the end of the year. Because again, if we put it into perspective, we were expected to finish mid-table. We set that boundary ourselves after being expected to just avoid relegation. We've overachieved massively to get in the playoffs. We're probably going to get found out by bigger teams. We've had another injury to a big player. A younger will come on for Bird, and it means I can't even take the poor performers off because I've only got one sub left. We're going to bring him on. If them two are out of the playoffs, again, we're down to a base of 15, 16 players and no depth on the bench. We've got one attack here with Ashby. Can we get anything out of it? Into a Younger with an open, clear chance from 12 yards, a shot miles wide. And it's the hour mark. I'm just going to risk it and make the third change. Who's been the worst player of the lot? It looks like Pinnock, so we'll bring on Chair for him and see if he can do anything magical, like Lalkovic has on the opposite team. Oh, I don't know what to say. How has it gone so wrong in the space of a week? It's cleared away, but they've got another chance to swing it in from the corner. Lalkovic finds Coulson unmarked, flicks it onto Hepburn Murphy, who's also unmarked, from 4 yards, and it's 4-0. And this is one of the worst games I think we've had in the series so far. In fact, I think it probably is the worst. I can't remember us defending this badly. We've had a couple of games where we've let in 3 goals, or one even where we've let in 4, but we've always had the defensive unit working well, and it's just been that they've had a couple of good goals, or we've got a bit unlucky with deflections. This one we've just been completely outclassed. It reminds me a bit of the first game of the season against Gateshead for Dover, where we were very depressed about what was going on. Chair does put in a good ball, the substitute, finds a Younger on. What does he do with 6 yards out, clear chance on goal, heads it miles over. 15 minutes to go. I don't think we could score even if you gave him the ball on the goal line, to be honest. Jake Hyde's not been in the game. We just haven't got any subs to take him off thanks to the injury. He was definitely the worst of the two, but he's going to have to play now. Bird's inevitably going to be out for the playoff game. Parry's going to find Tracy. The ball's headed away. We're hitting it at nobody again. We're chasing shadows. Get all the cliches out of the way about awful performances. They've put the ball in again. We've headed it away, but who does it fall to? An Ebbsfleet player who thankfully puts it high and wide this time. One shot on target in the whole game, and that's not to say we haven't had chances, because we have. A Younger's missed a sitter. Hyde had a great chance in the first half. We're soundly beaten, let's be honest. We can talk about it with 10 minutes to go as if it's already happened, because we're going to lose this game, and we're going to lose it heavily. And to be completely honest, it's well and truly deserved. It's going to be a real job to pick these guys up for the playoffs in a few days. They've really let themselves down today, and I am taking no responsibility for this performance. The tactical plan was right. We normally do well against 4-4-2s, but it's all just gone wrong on the final day of the season. My only hope is they've got their mind on the playoffs and they'll turn in a brilliant performance in midweek. But somehow I doubt that's going to happen after this. Here we go, one last chance to get a goal, and Chair even gives it away, the best player technically, and he's just giving it away. And I think Tracy, he was trying to do a hit back heel in the middle of his half. He's given the ball away as well. Casey's made a challenge and then been challenged again. We've been second best in every single aspect of the game, and we have lost it 4-0. And that is probably the most agitated you're going to see me in this save, because I don't think things can get much worse than that. I guess the only news we're waiting for is, will the 2 injured players be back for the playoff games? They were 2 of the more acceptable performers before they got injured. Let's go and batter them for this one as well. We're going to get aggressive, because that was absolutely diabolical. We're not happy with the result. I'm not happy with the performance, is what I want to say. But there we go. We've lost 4-0 against Ebbsfleet. They were second in the league, to be fair. They looked like they were chasing the title. Did Forest Green win as well? Yes, so they did have a chance to win the title. They're a good side. But to lose 4-0 and be played off the park that easily is something we've really got to worry about for the playoffs. You can see we've got Hartlepool finishing in 4th place. They won 1-0 against Eastleigh. So they'll be coming into a game against us full of confidence in midweek. Let's see if anything lovely's been said about this game, and look at, more importantly, how long those injuries are going to be. Forest Green have gone straight back up after their relegation in the first season. And the injury news is Ryan Bird out for 6 weeks. That's his season done and the first week of pre-season. And Mitch Brundle, that's a month. That's his playoff campaign out the window as well. We are looking very weak going into it. We've still got Pasley out for a couple of months. And Show Silver, the reserve striker's not even fit. He might just have to go on the bench injured as the third striker, because with him and Bird out, we've only got 2 left who can start. So that's it from this very depressing episode. We'll be back in midweek for the playoff quarter-final against Hartlepool, where I think we're going to get a sense of deja vu from last year, as things seem to be unravelling at the wrong point. Thank you very much for watching this one. Subscribe to the channel below for regular content from this head coach series and from my Golden Generation weekend save, and we'll see you next time.